So I don't know if you knew this, but the origin of Devil May Cry 1 and where it came from is actually pretty crazy. Devil May Cry 1, one of the reasons it actually has like a lot of darkness to it that you noticed is that game actually came to be because of actually Resident Evil 4. What happened was back when they were making Resident Evil 4, they actually went through a few versions of that game. Like they went through a ton of versions of that game. And one of the versions they made was actually Devil May Cry. So originally Devil May Cry 1 was actually supposed to be Resident Evil 4, but when they were making it at the time, when it was going to be like, instead of DMC, it was originally just going to be Resident Evil 4. When they were making it, they felt like it strayed away too far from what Resident Evil was. It was too out there. So instead of actually scrapping it, the guy behind Resident Evil 4 said, you know what? We shouldn't scrap this. We should have this be its own thing. So they gave it to another developer, and they let them take that version of RE4 and actually make it its own game. So that's honestly pretty crazy that Devil May Cry is a series that pretty much spawned through like development of Resident Evil 4. There's actually kind of some similarities between that and RE4 a little bit. Like Dante and Leon have similar hairstyles, things of that nature. But yeah, that's just interesting that DMC1 spawned from RE4's development, and that it was it was supposed to be Resident Evil 4, but it wasn't what they wanted for RE4, so instead of scrapping it, they made it its own thing, which is pretty cool. I wish that would happen more often, because a lot of times when companies and entertainment makers in general, and they make a few versions of something, they usually just go with the best version. They don't really do anything with the other versions. So that was a situation where one of the versions they didn't just throw away in the bin. They did something with it, and they were smart to do that. So that's something interesting to know about DMC.
Yeah, that's pretty stellar about hearing how Devil May Cry was basically a scrapped Resident Evil 4 session in terms of the gameplay and stuff like that. That's interesting to hear, just because most developers probably would have just scrapped the session and it never would have seen the light of day. But the fact that they went with it and realized that that could have actually been something was pretty brilliant. And I would have to say, like another series that I would like to kind of see do something like that would probably be something like Gears of War, because I feel like Gears of War is not quite like a Call of Duty or Halo type game, a first person shooter, but I do kind of feel like it has some originality in it that's just not copied very much. I mean, I think the closest thing maybe might be like Borderlands or Army of Two or something, but it's just not used enough. I would definitely think that there's a number of franchises that could probably benefit from doing what Resident Evil 4 and Devil May Cry did, because those are similar games. They do both kind of have that same creepy template, similar heroes, similar aesthetic, and similar kind of backgrounds and setting, to kind of say that they just really have like that kind of autumn kind of feel and just overall gothic kind of materia about them that's interesting. It would be real neat to kind of see a spin-off of like Gears of War or Borderlands or something like that, or Dead Rising, something that could be a spin-off or something in that department that they could do and actually, connect with it.